Coast Football Weekly, our new podcast and your new home for everything happening in Central Coast football. My name is Adam Blunden and I'll be your host. I've spent more than a decade working for Central Coast Football in various different roles. These days I handle all things content. Each week we'll be diving into the Skyball Premier League, breaking down match previews, going over the biggest results and moments week to week, and just about everything worth talking about from our men's and women's first grade competitions. We'll also be unpacking other big agenda items ranging from our grassroots junior competitions right through to our senior leagues. We'll also be shining a light on players, coaches, managers, referees and volunteers shaping our game in our region. So without further ado, let's get into our inaugural guest on the podcast. Welcome, our first ever guest, our inaugural guest to the podcast, Gosford City's Shay Taylor. Thank you very much for coming on.
Thanks for having me, Adam. Appreciate it.
So for the people who may not know you, do you want to give them a bit of a background, how long you've been coaching, involved in CCF, sort of just a quick little bio into your life and how you come here?
Yeah, so I've been on the coast now 12 years. I was playing on the coast. I played Premier League as well as Div 1. And then obviously had a couple of injuries that cut my career short, even though I am getting on a little bit now. And I decided to start coaching a couple of years ago, just before COVID at Gwendolyn. So I'd done 9 games there, and then obviously COVID cut the season, so I had to stop there. And then obviously Gosford came about looking for a new coach a few years ago, and obviously I just thought I'd give it a go and go from there. Really, that was it.
And 2024, big year for Gosford. Obviously, was that your first year?
That was my first year at Gosford.
Yep. And then obviously grand final winners. So how did that feel? What did that mean to you, sort of the club, the players?
To me, individually, it wasn't really anything about myself. It's always been about the players and trying to help players get better.
Yeah.
Obviously, I knew the club hadn't done much for about 8 years. I know a couple of years before COVID, they were about to do something under Dave Fitzy. But at the same time, I knew that the group of players that were there were capable of doing good things. So I just made sure that everyone would stay. And they did, luckily for me. And obviously, we just went on and basically built a good culture and took it how it came, so...
Yeah, so obviously making the semis, you obviously didn't make the promotion spots.
No.
So it was a do or die in the semi-final series, and you come out on top, ended up beating Arimba in the final, I believe. Fast forward a year later, we introduced the playoff finals. Same thing again.
Yeah.
I think it was the last day of the year. You were battling for second place with Dolo. They ended up beating you on the day.
Correct.
Heading into the semi-finals, do or die again. You get past Woy, get past Doyleson, playoff grand final against local rivals Wyoming, and then come up short. Sort of, what was that like? The feeling of just falling short in the end.
It was hard to lose, especially in a derby. I'd have preferred one of the other clubs that were not doing so well that year as well. But at the same time, obviously, a derby is what we all play for. They're the biggest games. Wyoming obviously managed to get a win that night, but I think it could have went either way. So in my eyes, it was a game of two halves. But at the same time, we did fall short, and we just went back to the drawing board ready, hoping to push again in Div 1. And then obviously we got this news.
Yep.
And then now we're looking forward to this new venture.
Yeah, so what was that like? Obviously, over the Christmas break, sort of you break up, you think, all right, we'll go again in Div 1, probably look to build a stronger squad. When did you sort of first hear about the idea of getting promoted, obviously with Woongarra dropping out? It was sort of used with the next team in line, which made the most reasonable sort of team to come through. When did you first sort of hear about that?
Probably 2 weeks before it was announced. It was sort of being mentioned. Me and the president were talking, Cameron Bradley, and he mentioned something along the lines of Woongarra possibly pulling out. And I straight away said to him, I feel that we've been the most consistent in the last 2 years, especially with grand final appearances. And I just felt that we deserved it off the consistency if it would materialise. So obviously once it started coming to fruition, that's where I decided, you know what, let's do this. But then at the same time, unknown to me, I was losing 5 first graders because we didn't get the automatic promotion in the 2025. So then I was thinking about it and thinking, is this going to work? But decided that if it came about, we were going to take it. So once it came about, we took it.
So that was sort of my next question. Was there ever a thought of maybe we just wait another year, try and build and to make sure, you go on, finish first, go get promoted, or as soon as you heard about it, you wanted to jump at it?
I wanted to jump at it for the purpose of I felt that the boys have earned it.
Yeah.
Over the consistency of the 2 years that I've been working with them. I feel that a lot of my team are first grade Premier League players, and that's every one of them. I believe in all of them. They believe in themselves now. And I think that was where the previous coaches, and there's no disrespect to them, they didn't give them the belief they probably needed.
Mm-hmm.
As I say to myself, I'm no coach. I'm learning still every day. The boys are learning me. I'm learning them. But at the same time, we just deserved it, and that was where I sat with it. So I thought that was what needed to happen once it was coming about. So
Yep. And then when the announcement was made official, who'd you call first? Was there a club captain? Who'd you make the call to let them know we've been promoted to Prems?
I rang my partner
Yep.
straight away and said, it's going to be a lot more hard work. You're going to
Yeah.
see me a lot less.
Yeah.
But at the same time, I said it was something that I wanted to do with these lads.
Yeah.
So, yeah, my partner was first, then obviously the assistant coaches. And obviously I already earmarked someone to come in and help me this year.
Yep.
He's a player still, but he's a very good understanding football player and knows football. So I bring Ryan Fincham with me to help me, as well as help Barry Sheriffs. And Lewis Bridges is doing the 23s.
Mm-hmm.
So I felt that we've developed a good coaching staff.
Yep.
It's ironic that we're all English. So
Yeah.
we're all trying to work together and make something happen there.
Or football mad.
But we could also foul.
Yeah.
And it could be a laughing stock. But at the same time, we're all in it together. We're going to try our hardest and stay up.
Yep. And what excites you most about obviously joining the NPL competition in 2026?
I just think it's a lot better football. I think Division 1 is a bit of a slugfight. Everyone's in a fight. Anyone can beat anyone on any given day as long as they turn up. It's definitely harder than Premier League to what I remember. Obviously, things have changed and better players have come.
Mm-hmm.
But I believe that that's probably what it was, knowing that we wanted to play against better footballers. The quality is a lot better. The officials, I would say, should be a lot better. So I just think just for that outlook, that's what's going to help.
How's the announcement sort of changed your preseason? Have you seen more players sort of show interest in the club? Have you already done your recruiting for the year? You still looking at players? How's that sort of looking?
No, we're still looking. The door's always open. I always know there's players out there that will be disgruntled, especially during pre-season cup. Might not get the game time at a club where they currently are. So I'm happy to take them over if they're wanting to give us a go. As I said, I'm all about the lads. It's about building a culture. But with good footballers, commitment levels have got to be good. And that's basically where we're at the moment. But the door is always open for any new players. And we still haven't finished recruiting. Obviously, there's people seeing now that we have recruited. We've taken some of the Wungara lads, obviously, with them folding.
Mm-hmm.
So in that regards, I'm still open. I'm still talking to certain players. I've got one that I would like to say a bit later on, but
okay,
if he
we'll
comes
get
on
to
board,
that. Yeah,
if he comes on board,
we can
we'll
get to that. There's been
fun there.
some talks, but just on the Association Cup, obviously this weekend you kick things off Friday night. You play your minor. Obviously, they also the other newly promoted team.
Yeah.
What are you sort of expecting from this contest come Friday? Is it more so just to get minutes in the legs? Are you looking to go out there, make a statement? Is it for you just more importantly just getting the players together and sort of getting them used to each other?
We're still work in progress. We've got a lot of new additions to the squad, as I mentioned before, and we're still trying to work on new structures and how we want to play. Obviously, Umina were a very strong side and they've got a very good side. Some talented football players there. I believe that for me and the squad itself, it's just about minutes at this stage. I don't believe you take too much from pre-season. Obviously, it's nice to get the win or nice to just compete, but I don't take nothing from this. For me itself, obviously the lads want to win too.
Yeah.
So for me at the moment, as a coach, I don't really worry about the result. But for the boys and the confidence moving up, moving in to what we did last year with Umina, because that was our toughest game, as you know, I think it's going to be a good highlight, to be honest.
Yeah, well, Umina, 21 wins from 21 games,
Correct.
I believe. It was the invincible season. Obviously, they recruited well. They deserve to be in Prems. I haven't really heard much out of the Umina camp, whether they've kept all of their players, if they've added. So, be an interesting hit out. But yeah, under the bright lights at Plume Park Friday night. So, if you are interested, it is our match of the round this week. So, come on down, get your first look at our two new Premier League sides for 2026. Talking more about preseason, what sort of you do? Are you looking to build anything new this year with the players you're bringing in? Do you think you're bringing in more quality so you'll be able to change things, maybe system wise, or is it just same old Gosford and how you've been the last few years?
No, on my first year, it was all about defence. I looked at the statistics on the year before. They conceded a lot of goals, but didn't score too many. So that was my first year trying to work defence. This year I tried to go a little bit more offensive and go a bit more forward, a bit more attacking play. Certain games we couldn't do that. Personnel's absences, stuff like that. But this year, I just want the boys to go out and be themselves. At the end of the day, they're a good bunch. They're very good footballers. They just need to believe in themselves that they can go and compete. And if we go man for man on our day, I believe we can beat anybody.
And for me personally, last year we were a new team in a new comp. We got promoted up in Newcastle, and so what everyone sort of talks about the first year, you just want to survive. Is that sort of your mindset heading into it, or do you think that it's very cliche? But do you think you can go further than that, or is it a realistic thing just to be like the first year, you just want to make sure we're in the competition the following year and to build on that?
Me personally, I'm not going up to survive.
Yep.
I'm going up to compete and be as good as we can be. If it ends up meaning we've got to survive, then we will. But I haven't got the mindset of going in to compete and park the bus and do a philosophy where we're not in any game and we're just shutting up shop. We've got the talent. We've recruited well. I believe they can compete. And some of the lads obviously were at Wangara, and them boys have already played the levels, so they know exactly what they need to do. We've just got to make sure that the gelling comes together sooner rather than later. And I believe we're definitely going to be the underdog, but at the same time, who knows?
Back in when I first was in the league, it was the Ian McAndrews and the Adam Woodbines were at Gosford, and they obviously won the league that year. I think they got us on the final day of the year, but it was never a fun place to go, Gavenlock. So do you think that's sort of gone away in recent years? Do you think they were starting to come back now that you've had more success? Do you reckon you will we see the Gosford and the Gavenlock that they've been known for in the past more this year?
Gavenlock's is hit or miss for us.
Yeah.
We don't seem to perform there, but neither does anyone else. I think the paddock's that bad. Nobody can get in a rhythm and play the football that you'd like to play. And I think for us, Plume Park was perfect. Every time we came to Plume, we played good football and tended to knock the ball around pretty good. But yeah, I'd like to get everyone to Gavenlock, of course. But I'd also like to get relayed as well.
Yeah.
So, but at the same time, there's a lot of people that do come and watch us based off what we've been doing over the last 2 years. And I'm hoping that we pull the rest of them out the woodwork to come and support us. The boys need the support. They act as the 12th man. And I think if we get that, I think that's also going to get us over the line in certain aspects of some games as well. So especially the Wyoming game, obviously the derby's back on again.
Yep.
So that's going to be huge. I'm not sure whether that's going to be a night at Alan Davison. And we obviously can't do it at Gavenlock. But obviously them games are always big. And I used to love derbies myself. So the boys are always up for it. As you said earlier, we just fell short in the final this year. But I think we'll go well.
Bit of a redemption against them come 2026.
That's the plan. That is definitely the plan.
And you've talked about obviously some new recruits coming over from Wangara, but I've heard there's quite a bombshell that you might be able to drop. I've heard some rumors of a quality player that is up there with one of the ex-A League NPL striker. So is there anything you can or cannot tell us about a new recruit?
Yeah, it's official now. So we were talking yesterday, so I will drop it, and I've spoken to him. So Joey Gibbs is coming back to Gosford as a junior. He was a junior.
Yep.
And he's coming back to play for the boys. And he's also coming back to give the community, the coast, exactly what we need.
Yeah.
And he's a marquee, as Chris Payne was at your minor. And this is what the club and the confidence we need.
Yeah, so for those who don't know Joey Gibbs, he's obviously an ex-A League player. He's done some stint overseas professionally, been
Western Sydney Wanderers winner.
Yep.
Sydney FC winner.
I think his Wikipedia page says he was, at the time, the youngest player to ever feature in an A-League grand final when Sydney defeated Melbourne Victory on penalties. So, Gosford Junior, not going to cost you any points, which is great. Right. So, a very exciting time. Obviously, been playing NPL in Sydney for the last few years, so obviously knows how to find the back of the net, which is obviously going to add a very new dimension to your side. So has he trained at all yet? Or
hasn't trained at the moment. Obviously, he's got a young family still based in Sydney.
Yep.
But he's definitely going to be coming down. I was hoping we'll have him for Friday, but that's to be told at this stage, so I'm not going to give you too much more on that. But at the same time, as I said, he's going to add to the lads. The boys now know, and he's, as we all know, he's prolific. I know there was rumours others were trying to get him, but he always said there was one club for him to come back to, and he's come back to exactly where he knew he had to come to.
Back to being a Dragon.
So he's back to the Dragons, and hopefully he's going to have a very good year with us as well.
Yeah, no, that's very exciting. Also very good for you guys, but also great for the league. I feel like the league's just getting stronger and stronger. So it'll be great to see him around our local grounds come 2026. Probably
Exactly
banging
right.
in a few goals, I'm sure.
I'm hoping so.
Yeah. Looking forward to 2026. Is the Wyoming the game that stands out the most on your calendar, or do you want to take down sort of the better teams? You're looking forward to them. What sort of excites you most team wise?
I'm excited to play everyone that we haven't played before, but at the same time, obviously, the year before last, when Narimba got promoted, that's another grudge match. There's always been a little bit of argy-bargy there.
Mm-hmm.
Them boys dislike me. I wouldn't say I dislike them, but they definitely dislike me from the sideline. So that's going to be a fun game to play. Obviously, they've got a new coach, so they're probably learning new structures. And I know there was a few lads that were tivering of going to us or them, and it seems like we've got them over the line. So, as I said, it's just a matter of being able to compete with everybody. But I would say Wyoming and Ourimbah are the two for me. But then, obviously, if we want to go even more detail, I played for Terrigal.
Mm-hmm.
That's always going to be
Well,
a grudge
you've played
for
at
me.
every club on the coast,
But
haven't you?
I've been at a few. So, at the same time, every club for me is going back to play against the club.
Yeah.
But now as a coach, it's completely different. I don't have nothing bad to say about other coaches. We're all trying to learn something, teach each other something new. But yeah, Terrigal, I would say Terrigal, Ourimbah and Wyoming are the three. Obviously, we've all seen the recruiting that Terrigal have done, and they've got a new coach as well. So I think they'll be good. But as I said, on our given day, we could compete with the best.
Mm-hmm. As a coach, I know obviously your main focus is to get 11 players on the park and make sure they win the fixture. But what is it like, the recruiting process? Because that's a whole ball game in itself, right? Is that something you enjoy doing? Is it something you wish was easier? How do you find that? Because I know some coaches, they love it. They love to reach out to players. They love to bring new players in. Others, it seems like a hassle. For you personally, what's that like?
Stressful.
Yeah.
Especially when you've lost some of good players that we had in last year due to injury and other commitments that they've made. It's hard. And then you're going into training early pre-season trying to see what numbers you've got. And up until 6 weeks ago, we probably had 34 players. Obviously, things have drastically changed with lads coming over, new sponsorship. We've got a new major sponsor as well. So that's helped with, obviously, the Wangara lads that had the connection there. But yeah, it's difficult. And obviously the club, we're still a small club, really, considering up until 10 years ago when they had the McAndrews, Reece Kyras, Luke Bozanek, all them boys. Matty Hall was there as well.
Yep.
They had a very good squad. And they all obviously dispersed and went elsewhere. I'm just trying to bring that back, bring a good squad back. I've got good captain now, two good captains, as in Andrew Morris as well as Emerson Barado. So them two are stepping up. So yeah, it's hard. I've asked them to help recruit, obviously friends of friends. But at the same time, it's not easy because there's a lot of players that are already committed elsewhere or been plying their trade elsewhere. So it's hard. And you can't entice them with anything. You want them to just be committed for the group, for the boys, for myself, for the club. And that's the hard part.
Yeah, I feel like the Central Coast is very cliquey in a sense where you'll hear of one player leaving and then obviously they've got friends that would forces 3 or 4 to go with them. So obviously trying to replace one player is one thing, but if they're leaving and another 4 are going with them, that's a whole other ball game. So I know some coaches, they can't wait to make some phone calls and reach out to players, whether it be during the season or post-season. But yeah, it's just interesting finding out of who likes what process. What are the sort of the main things you do enjoy about coaching? Obviously, winning's probably the main thing, but is it putting together a plan and seeing it implemented?
Yeah, I like the fact that obviously going to training when the numbers are there. Obviously, there's a lot of lads have work commitments, families, so I know how hard it can be. I've got a family of my own. It's difficult on me at times as well, but training for me, I think. You do your hard work at training, the game becomes simple. If you do the right thing at training, it's simple again. I think at times we've had low numbers due to work commitments and other things that are going on in other people's lives, which we can't help. So that's what makes it difficult. But me, myself, I love going to training and seeing smiles on faces and seeing boys come off absolute rooted because they've just put such a good shift in. And I've got a lot of boys that do that. There is a couple, I won't name their names, and they'll know once they listen to this who I'm talking about, so they need to pick up their game. But at the same time, as I said, they're a good bunch of lads. And majority of the time they do dig in and they put in, and that's shown with our results that we've had in the last 2 years. So yeah, that's training for me, and also the mateship. Got a lot of friends. Obviously, you could say some acquaintances, but there's a lot of friends now that know that I mean well, they mean well, and they just want to give me what they've got, and that's how I am.
Yeah, for me as a player, I think culture is sort of the main factor, which will get me going back to playing for a club. Like we've said before, you have been to a few clubs. Where would you think Gosford sort of ranks amongst the culture of clubs you've been to around the coast?
Now,
Yep.
very good. The
Yep.
culture now is very good because the lads obviously didn't know me when I come in because it was one of the clubs I hadn't played for. So it was a lot easier to obviously come in as a coach and not as a player.
Mhm.
Didn't know who I was as a person. As obviously my career died off, I got angry because I was more unfit, so I became a bit of a grub, as people confirm that. But now it's all about themselves, do you know what I mean? That's how I am with it. So yeah, that's it really. That's where we're at with it.
And does coaching for you sort of scratch the itch of not being able to play, or do you still miss it? Does it suffice, or you want to be back out there?
I'd love to be playing still,
Yeah.
but obviously my body's not there to play. The injuries I've had won't allow me to play anymore, and if I do, work's important. I can't not work. Of course, it gives the itch, but there's times that I would love to be out there and still pick myself and be that man. But I've got boys that now can do it,
Mm-hmm.
and it does fulfil something, not fully, but there's obviously because I still want to play. But I'm now at the stage where I don't feel that I need to play.
Yeah.
There's players that are good enough, better than what I was, more than capable of to give him what we need, and that's the coach now. I'm now the coach. I got the hat on to be the coach. I don't need to play because I've got players that can do what we need them to do. Where a little bit of arrogance from me, I suppose, when I was a bit younger, thinking I was the bee's knees, and I probably wasn't. But
Mm-hmm.
you've got parents that tell you you're always good. You know what I mean? So sometimes they just blow smoke. But now I've grown up a lot, and realised it's not all about me. It's about the squad. It's about the unity. It's about us as a combined culture, and it's all come together. So I'm happy now coaching, and obviously my plan is to progress. If I can leave Gosford in a good stead later on down the line, whether that be 5 years, 10 years, 20 years, whatever it may be, my plan is to grow as well. And the club have now so far grown and will just continue to grow.
Yeah, and it's obviously hard not being on the pitch anymore. Have you ever thought about possibly being a referee and being in the center of the action? I think over the years you've told referees how to ref the game. So have you ever thought about getting the whistle out and then?
Probably not.
No, not on your
As
list.
much as I reckon I could do it, no, definitely not. Not on the level of this level because the levels just got better over the last 5, 6, 7 years. As we know, the quality's getting better. And obviously, I know what I was like as a player and I know what I'm like as a coach. Obviously, I don't agree with everything and I am very opinionated, but it's just my opinion.
Mm.
I think a lot of the referees now understand me. It's not me having a personal dig at individuals. It's just me having an opinion of what I see and what they see, and sometimes they just don't match.
Yeah, I think as a player, most players think it's easy to be a referee, but
Yeah.
yeah, I definitely think it's not something I'll ever do. So
Yeah.
I'm not going to speak on that.
No, of course.
As we sort of wrap up, I want some one-worded answers from you.
Okay.
So, where will Gosford finish on the NPL ladder this season?
Top 6,
Top 6. Who's the hardest trainer?
and that's being optimistic.
Who's the hardest trainer at your club?
There's a few currently or over the consistency of 3 years.
Go both.
Andrew Morris, 100%, and Emerson Barado. Josh Kay as well. There was them three. Josh Kay's no longer playing. He's had a young family, had a baby, so he can't play this year due to commitments with that and a new business. So yeah, Andrew Morris and Emerson Barado pushed themselves hard. There is a lot more, but obviously you only wanted one.
There. Those who haven't obviously watched Gosford in recent years, who do you think is one sort of young star that will be one to watch this year?
There's multiple. I've been saying to this one individual for a few years, and when he listens to this, he'll thank me, but won't thank me. Harry Vodka. To me, he's one of the best players on the coast, let alone just Div 1, on the coast. he could go next level if he really put his mind to it. But as I say, I'm trying and I'm still not getting through completely. So it's up to him. But yeah, me personally, the players agree as well. So it's not just from me.
And first player to get a red card this year besides yourself.
uh, mm, that's a hard one. We don't get many.
No?
No, we don't get many.
Well, that's what we like to hear.
Yeah, we don't get many. I'll give it to myself.
Yeah.
I'll give it to myself.
That's fair. Go league-based now. Who do you think will finish first?
Based off the last couple of years of what I've been minimalising watching, I think there's going to be 3 or 4 teams that are going to compete. I'd say obviously Southern and Budgie based off last year. And then I really believe Terrigal will be in that. And Berkeleyville. I think they will be the top 4.
And if you had to pick one side to go down, who do you think is getting relegated?
Not Gosford.
Very political, correct answer.
It's just the way it is. It won't be us.
And that is all for episode 1 of Coast Football Weekly. Another massive thank you to Shay for being our first guest on the pod. If you enjoyed the episode, make sure to like and subscribe on YouTube. And don't forget to leave us a rating and review on Spotify and Apple Podcasts. Thanks for tuning in. We'll catch you next week.